Diana Falzone, and this is 4for4 Tech, where we discuss 4 cutting-edge tech topics in only 4 minutes. Attention, humans! A pizza rat robot is terrifying supposedly hardened New Yorkers. Xavier, what shenanigans is this robot getting into?
Yeah, so for those who missed it, Pizza Rat is a local New York hero that's just trying to feed his family with like a slice. So YouTube pranksters, Prank vs. Prank, made a robot remote-controlled version of the Pizza Rat.
I love this little guy. He just is roaming around scaring New Yorkers, but my only concern is that they're doing it on subway platforms, and I'm genuinely concerned some scared girls are going to fall into the subway.
Mind the gap.
I'll tell you what is good about this prank. Absolutely nothing. Like, I know you have to think about robots, Diana, but rats. It's like, do we really need to kind of amp up the fear around these things? I mean, for me, the stuff of nightmares. The best thing in that video was when it went down the drain. Like, this was just awful.
Okay, as someone who had 2 rats squeaky in trouble growing up, I'm deeply hurt that you would have these sentiments toward our rodent friends. I'm also a little annoyed by the fact that this video primarily went after women in short skirts bearing leg, a little misogynistic. Robot rat controller.
It was also interesting to see that there were plenty of people who weren't bothered by it, but anyway.
That's because they are hard to New Yorkers, and you actually see real ones and jump over quite a few on your way to work, just saying. Google wants to make the world a better place by giving access to its machine learning technology. Jen, what exactly is this? Because it's a little complicated.
It's a little technical. It's called TensorFlow, and it's their machine learning technology. So you can think of it as AI, artificial intelligence. And this is the technology that powers a lot of their, for example, Google Translate, or it can recognize objects such as a dog, and you can type that into Google Photos. So what they've done, this is the 2nd generation of it, and they've unleashed some of it, open sourced it to a wide group of people, hoping that outside of Google, this technology grows even farther and advances quicker.
Yeah, what's great about this is that, one, it's open source, so anyone is free to use it, and anyone can like look into it and just modify it how they want to. And second, we might see current services and current apps become a lot smarter. So I feel like this is a good thing.
And, you know, Google's had all this success with Android. You know, so much of that was opened up, and we see where that's taken us. I'm really excited about this. It could be really, really cool.
Well, the open source is a great idea because, like you said, we're progressing, we're moving forward at a faster rate, but there's always that fear, and I always go on the fear side of things with technologies like this, of getting hacked. So I think you always have to be careful, but like James, you said before that they're being careful with it and they have certain lockdowns on it.
Absolutely.
Boston Children's Hospital is battling rare diseases with the Watson supercomputer. James, how can this supercomputer, made famous by Jeopardy, actually help save lives?
This is an absolutely wonderful use of Watson. Basically, Boston Children's Hospital is doing a lot of research into rare diseases, and basically one of Watson's big things, it can analyze vast amounts of data. So it's looking at medical literature, clinical databases, then it's going to use its Watson Health Cloud to basically match genetic mutations with specific diseases. So it's very, very early days for this yet, but I think it's an amazing use of the technology.
I've been following Watson ever since it won Jeopardy a couple years ago. Big fan, Watson. But I think that this is a great use of that technology because they have started to get it into industries over the last few years. And I think that the medical implications of this are great because these are rare diseases that just human doctors don't have the resources to spend all the time on. And Watson can weed through so many more mounds of data.
Yeah, and even there's even implications in the medical education field. Like, think how this will affect med students, how they're learning. And even services that we use like WebMD. I mean, combining this with TensorFlow from Google, the sky's the limit.
And early detection is key, especially with a lot of these rapid growth kind of diseases. Maryland's maglev train is gaining speed as it gets crucial funding. Xavier, how close is this promised 15-minute commute between Maryland and D.C.?
So it's interesting. So the U.S. Department of Transportation gave funding to Maryland to get magnetic levitation trains going between D.C. and Baltimore, and that could lead to some very interesting things. Yeah,
speedy life.
I'm more excited about the potential of a Hyperloop or something like that. Well, think about it. The high-speed train, for example, in California has been, it's up to $71 billion now, the budget. I mean, these projects are really intense, and I think that 15-minute commute, and that's feasible, that would be great. But there are so many hurdles to getting there, and I almost wonder by the time it's implemented, if other technologies that are better will be in existence.
You know, other countries have made big leaps with this, though. You know, there's a use of the technology in Japan. There's a company called Skytran that's doing some really interesting pilot projects with this. And I think the whole idea that, you know, we all know how how congested the roads are. If we have an alternative to that, there could be like a next generation technology like maglev. It is doable. I don't think it has to be necessarily be as complicated as the Hyperloop, but I'm really, really psyched about this.
I'm psyched too, because time is money, and we only have time in our lives, and to cut it down from 40 minutes on the Acela, which is a little bit pricier, to from 40 to 15 is key. But you saw in LA when they tried doing mass commuting, it didn't work. People didn't jump on board with that. Now you know what we think. Tell us what you think using the hashtag 444Tech. And let's talk about that.